All right, going live for a little bit. Going to do another live show here for Thanksgiving. Hope the connection is okay, because if it's not, oh well. Gonna have to jump on a little bit later. Let's see here. When anybody comes in, just let me know if they can hear me or if the connection is kind of jumpy. But yeah, man. Yeah. Welcome back, y'all. Be back on another hashtag CB99 talks. Dang, this 105. James G, what's going on? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, you say you good. Okay, appreciate that, man. Back with another one, man. A live one, and just had to get on and talk a little bit about some fights coming up tonight. Or not tonight, but the 25th, right? Got this card coming up, PFL, and I haven't really talked about it, so I want to discuss Kayla Harrison and Larissa Pacheco a little bit. And I had a subscriber, or just somebody commenting. I don't know if he subscribed or what. He wanted to talk about the Julia Budd and Aspen Ladd fight. He wanted to know who I had. Well, I'm not really sure, but we'll discuss that. Just discuss the card a little bit, and Shevchenko Santos. Let's talk about that rematch a little bit, and Yasmin Jauregui and Estela Nunes. Shout out to Mojo and James G. Happy Thanksgiving. He said happy Thanksgiving to come on the Breaker Gang. Yeah, man. Hope your holiday is going well. Had to get in a run before I eat. Had to get in a run today. So I said, you know what? While I cool down, we can talk for a little bit. Maybe about 30, 40 minutes, because I got to get back to it. So it ain't going to be too long. We're going to talk about a couple of these fights, this PFL card coming up tomorrow. And we're gonna just discuss this pay-per-view situation, man. James G said I was on vacation and all I see is Hater Harrison talking smack yesterday. Yeah, we'll get into that, man. But yeah, I'm just kind of chilling right now, cooling down. So yeah, we'll talk about this right off the top. But yeah, shout out to a commenter. I think his name is Eso, and I just figured out what that meant just a few weeks ago, right? Eso. Shout out to Eso, man. He wanted to know who I have in this Julia Budd and Aspen Ladd fight. I haven't really thought about it. Really, I haven't really thought about it until he brought it up, because I forgot. I forgot they were fighting on this card. It's on the prelims. I mean, who do y'all got in the comment section? Julia Budd, she been in the game for a minute. She got a lot of experience, and she's she came over from Bellator, as y'all know. After her loss to Cyborg, she racked up a couple more wins, jumped over here to PFL in the lightweight division, and didn't have the best fight. Didn't have the best fight against Jenna Fabian. Jenna Fabian did miss weight in that fight, came in a little big. Julia Budd had one good round, I think, and kind of gassed out toward the end of the round, because she was kind of taking the wrong approach to fight such a big fighter, in my opinion. And she did rack a couple of wins, right? She fought Caitlin Young. That was another close one. And before that, I think she fought Gabrielle Holloway, somebody like that. And I like Julia Budd, but sometimes I'm still trying to figure out what's really her strong suit. Like she's okay on the ground. Her stand up is okay as well, but sometimes I see her get outstruck, and sometimes I see her get out grappled. I mean, I don't know if that's just me. Like, I think she's somewhat of a well-rounded fighter, but sometimes, she can get out worked on the feet, and sometimes she can get out grappled depending on who it is. And sometimes getting into them later rounds, she has a little bit of trouble sometimes. Aspen Ladd, though, it's really questionable about her, coming over from the UFC. When was her last win, y'all? Was her last win against Yana Kunitskaya like 2 years ago, almost like 2 years ago. Since then, she's racked up a few wins, and she just has a bad track record as far as making weight. They just had to get rid of her. They just had to go ahead and cut her, because she kept missing weight in those fights with Raquel Pennington, Norma Dumont, each fight she just doesn't come in focused. She just doesn't come in focused. So she's another one that I kind of question. Um, I think when it comes down to it, for somebody like Julia Budd going into a fight with Aspen Ladd, I think her best bet is to fight a rangy fight. Kind of like Rocky Pennington did. You just fight somebody like Aspen Ladd behind a good 1-2, and Julia Budd has a pretty good push kick. Just keeping her at bay with the push kick, and really dirty boxing her. Julia Budd has a decent clinch. I think Julia Budd has a decent clinch. So every time Aspen Ladd tries to, push forward and clinch her up, she just needs to put that tie clinch on her, throw some elbows and some knees, and break. Push her off. I thought Julia Budd, for fighting a Muay Thai fighter like Caitlin Young, she did well with her tie clinch in that fight. Was outstriking Caitlin Young a few times in like round 2 and 3, because I went back and looked at that one. And I think, she can fight comfortable on the outside against somebody like Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd, to me, is not really dangerous as far as fighting at a mid-range, like, just like a really decent kickboxer. You can kind of figure her style out. Doesn't really have head movement. What's going on, Marcus Bell? She doesn't really have that type of head movement where you got to worry about, her slipping your jab and then coming back with a counter, her dropping the level and taking you down. Like, that's not anything you have to worry about. She can get hit with the 1-2 all night long. Rocky Pennington proved that. So I think Julia Budd fighting behind the jab, just using her dirty boxing, clinch fighting and avoiding the ground. Because Aspen Ladd, when she does get close in close quarters, she does get rough. She does, start to put that work in, and she does get a little rugged and scrappy whenever she can actually find the target. When she gets the takedowns on you, yeah, she can go for that finish, but I haven't really seen her push that hard lately. Even the fights where she missed weight, and fought at a higher weight, I didn't really see her like pushing with that killer instinct. Like, even whenever she was trying to pressure GDR for the opening minute, or when she knocked out Yana Kunitskaya, right? Even before that, Yana Kunitskaya, I looked at that fight. She was landing on Aspen Ladd, before she landed that left hook on her. So, and stopped her. So I believe that Julia Budd definitely has a chance in this fight. She just got to keep the pace. She just got to keep the pace very slow starting out. Make Aspen Ladd follow her around, fight behind her, and just kind of fight at her rhythm. Fight at a medium pace where she's not gonna burn herself out, because let's be real, Julia Budd she's getting up there in age. Marcus Bell said Julia Budd is a little bit more athletic than Ladd. Yeah, I believe so too. James G said Ladd moves in a straight line. Claude G said, when was the last time Ladd actually made weight? Last time she made weight, about 3 years ago, right? No. 3 or 4 fights ago, which is probably like 2 years ago. I think she made weight in that Yana Kunitskaya fight. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. TJ said, I think Bud has enough left in the tank to get by Ladd, but an accidental headbutt is one of Ladd's keys to victory. I know she had an eye poke in one of her fights against Rocky Pennington. She threw out a kick, and then she saw Rocky Pennington's eyes coming in close, and boom, the fingers went in her eye, man. I was like, wow. But yeah, I think Yana Kunitskaya was the last fight, because I'm not sure if she made weight in the Norma Dumont fight. She definitely didn't make the weight in the Rocky Pennington fight. Who else before that? Well, there was a fight Macy Chason. I can't remember who pulled. I think Macy Chason pulled out of that fight for injury or something. But one of her fights just got canceled altogether. They said that was too much weight, and they couldn't make it happen. James G said, when does the PFL have a 145-pound division? They just opened it. They just opened it. So Julia Budd is moving down from lightweight to featherweight, and Aspen Ladd is one of their new signees. So we'll see how she does. But I think overall, Aspen Ladd, she's going to have to fight a ground fight here. She can't really stand and bang, or, try to stand and bang. I think she can stand and bang, because she got a, pretty tough chin and head. But when you give Julia Budd that range, I think she can outpoint you. Aspen Ladd has to throw that dirty boxing in herself, and she's got to, put that weight on Julia Budd and work Julia Budd's body. I think if she lands to Julia Budd's body, her being older, you can take away her legs and continually take her down and fight fight for that top control and keep it and use a ground and pound. Because Aspen Ladd is some pretty decent ground and pound. And, like I said, close quarters, her strikes can be effective. But I think I'm going to have to go with Julia Budd in this fight. I think with her experience and, just her overall skill set, she got enough to switch it up in there. And she got enough to adjust. I don't think Aspen Ladd is going to look as bad as she looked at some of her UFC fights. I think, since she has been training with a better team, even as far as her strength and conditioning, I think she'll fight a good fight. It's going to be a close fight, but I'm going to go with Julia Budd, man. I don't know about y'all. What do you think? Most of y'all said Julia Budd, too. Yeah, I'm going to go with Julia Budd. Let me see. Who else? Claude said, I like your content, so you just earned another subscriber. I appreciate that. Well, dang, you've been tuning in and you ain't subscribed? Dang, you just subscribed now? Wow. He said, I just earned it. I've been seeing you come through here, but you just said, I just earned another subscriber now. And you had to run me through a test, huh, for like, what, 5 or 6 months before you subscribed? What's up, MMAR? He said, Aspen Ladd is going to lose in the B leagues too. Dang. I think she'll fight a good competitive fight this time. Like I said, if everything is good, she's been looking good in strength and conditioning. She's been training with some good people. I think this will wake her up. It's not going to be too bad, though. I don't think it's going to be too bad. It's 50-50, though. It really is 50-50 because I think Aspen Ladd has learned a lot more with the experience levels that she's been fighting. Julia Budd, she's never had a chance to fight really that high up in the UFC. Not saying she hasn't fought experienced fighters, but still, yeah. Let's see. Is there any other women fights on this card? I'm not sure, but this is one. Like I said, somebody commented in one of our videos and asked me to talk about it. So do a video. So I said I'll just talk about it in this live stream, so you can come back and listen to it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Julia Budd in this fight. I think she's got enough tools, and I think she's got the octagon IQ. I think she's got the octagon IQ to pull this fight out. Kayla Harrison and Larissa Pacheco. I gotta give Kayla Harrison some respect. I definitely got to give her some respect. She went on Ariel Helwani's show, and she admitted it. She admitted that this fight shouldn't be pay-per-view, right? She admitted that this fight shouldn't be pay-per-view. I can agree with that because, like she said, why would you make the first pay-per-view of hers a fight with somebody she's fought 2 times? Now that's going to mess up her chance to promote a Cyborg fight. Like she said, Cyborg wants to see numbers before she takes a fight with her. So why would you make this pay-per-view? Why would you make this a pay-per-view event? Right? So she's got that. She's got that right. She's got that right. Because that's the exact same thing I've been saying. I know a lot of y'all been saying $50 for this fight. $50 for a fight that we've seen 2 times for free, right? And we really don't know what the outcome is going to be. I mean, this time around, a lot of people are hoping Larissa Pacheco can make it interesting again or, pull out the win since he's fighting the 3rd time. But for the most part, seeing as Kayla's been here, it's pretty safe to say Kayla might get it again, and I don't know if that's worth the $50. And another thing is, Kayla Harrison said that, she's not getting any money off this pay-per-view. She's not going to see any money off the pay-per-view. So yeah, I'm with her too. This fight really shouldn't have been pay-per-view. It really shouldn't have been because if you want to sell something bigger, it had to be a different look. It's got to be a different look. So I think, she felt like, yeah, this has to be free. And most of her fights really do need to be free, right? I mean, yes or no, because she's really a fighter that is the face of PFL. But what is that really saying, though? Right? It's like even with Invicta FC, they tried the pay-per-view model one time, I think, last year? think that was earlier this year. Last year, they did a pay-per-view, but it didn't do that well. So now Invicta FC, they put on free cards on Access TV. If you have that app, you just, pull up Access TV, you can watch Invicta FC, or you go to their YouTube channel and watch the whole card for free, right? So I think this is the same situation. There's certain levels of MMA organizations where you just have to give it to the people for free. And the level Kayla Harrison fighting on right now, even though, she's making the most money in WMMA, she's making those $1 million checks. The skill level is still not pay-per-view worthy, right? The skill level is still not pay-per-view worthy here. When you talk about Amanda Nunes fighting Valentina for a third time, yeah, that's a fight I'll pay for. Jauregui fighting Amanda Lemos, I'll pay for. Or even Jessica Andrade in a rematch. I'll pay for those fights. Those are fights I'll pay for. Even when Joanna, any of Joanna's fights I would pay for. But Kayla Harrison fighting for the third time against somebody she's 2-0 against is really not worth the money, and she feels that way too, especially since she's not getting anything for it. Yeah. James E. said Kayla will break Nunes' record. Oh, as far as title defenses in PFL, says Suey, what's up? He says doing 12,000 buys at most. Yeah, 12,000 still sounds like a lot to me. I know it's not, but even that seems like a big number. But there are some people that will. There are some people that will pay for it. MMA Art said, I just can't wait to see Kayla versus Cyborg and Nunes. I think she has the style to beat Nunes at least, and she can match her physical strength and size. Yeah, I think if she can make it interesting against any of them at 155, I would still have Nunes winning. Even Cyborg, I think that their skills are too much for her, but her athleticism, her speed would really carry her in these fights, and it's the fact that they are getting older too. So she has a good chance to beat them as they progress in age, and I don't think it would be like the situation where, oh, she beat the best version of them right now, because, Amanda Nunes, I think she's kind of in a different place right now. And I really wouldn't recommend her fighting anything higher than 145 right now, for Amanda. Any fights I want to see Amanda do is at 145 or 135, taking on Julieta Pena again or Valentina Shevchenko. Lodi said at what weight? 155. Yeah, it would have to be a 155 for Kayla to really, get a victory, because that's her weight. That's her full potential weight. They don't really fight at that weight. It might benefit Cyborg, and even then, Cyborg, well, even then, Kayla Harrison would struggle a little bit with them because of their skill sets. But MMA Art said 145. 145. Oh, okay. Oh man, yeah. I don't know, man. I am with Kayla though on this whole situation, man, because it's like, even with boxing, there's a couple of boxing cards now that they still haven't killed the pay-per-view model, and it kind of kills their viewership. They got to go to apps now. It's time to just go to the apps and just go to if you make pay-per-views, you really have to make them something worth paying for. Like if you talk to people in a bar, if you talk to people at work, when people say, "Oh, I pay for that fight," that's what a pay-per-view is. They talking about the best of the best. Like if you make Kayla fight Nunes or Cyborg, then yeah, those are pay-per-view worthy fights. But somehow along the way, you had to promote this fight the right way. You had to promote this particular fight the right way to make people say, "Oh yeah, I pay to see Kayla fight Cyborg." But she admitted herself. Like everything I've been saying in videos when I talk about her is what she just said. Like PFL is not promoting her right. Like she said, this fight was just promoted for 1 month. It's only been promoted for a month. So how is that going to build up a fight between her and Cyborg? So it's crazy, man. Mel said, how is Cyborg's boxing? Is she actually decent? She's really just getting, to me, over the past 2 or 3 years, she's just really becoming like a patient boxer. She's really becoming a patient boxer. Like when she was sparring Clarissa Shields, she was holding her own a little bit. Nothing too big. Like she wasn't like rocking Clarissa Shields, but Clarissa Shields was putting in work on her. It's a big size difference, but her boxing's okay. But I expected her to stop her boxing debut that she fought a couple months ago. The girl she fought, I can't remember her name, because Amanda Serrano, she dominated that girl that she fought. But Cyborg is supposed to be fighting in December again on this Terrence Crawford card. She's gonna be boxing. So I don't know. She tends to be just going left field now. She just kind of going left field. So I don't know if she's gonna really stick to the world of MMA is serious. Maybe she'll do the Kat Zingano fight, but I don't know. Amanda's 34, Chris 37, Kayla's 32. Yeah. Thing about Kayla, she a young 32. If you know what I mean. Like when you talk about fight years, her being a young 32. I know there's some wear and tear on her, but she hasn't really been hit a lot. She's got a fresher mind, fresher body than them. Amanda's been through a lot of up and down weight drain, and same with Chris. So I think the longer they wait, the more to go into her favor. The more I just look at her size. I was just looking at her in this interview with Ariel Wani, and I'm looking at how big she is. Like, yeah, that size can be a problem. 155. So I'm really interested to see what weight Chris Cyborg will accept. Because it could be problems in that type of fight. It can be problems if she's a fighter that knows how to use her size and she just ain't all show. It'll be a problem. It could be. Let's see. Cyborg has been boxing professionally now. Yeah, she been but she just going her second fight. Yeah, she going her second fight. In what 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Yeah. Mel said Holly Holm wants to fight Katie Taylor. What do you think about that? I thought about that. A little while ago I did a video and I thought it was a good idea because she's a boxer, but it's been so long since she boxed now, and it might not be good for her. It really might not be. I mean, the rounds in boxing for women are 2 minutes. It's 10 2-minute rounds. 10 2-minute rounds, which is a total of 20 minutes fighting. So it's actually shorter than a championship fight in MMA. MMA is what? 25 minutes. Five 5-minute rounds, 15 minutes for 3 5-minute rounds. And she's just gonna be focused on her hands, right? But then again, like I said, Katie Taylor been doing this for a while now, of course. So, and you 41 years old. I don't know if she got the legs to box at that pace no more. Boxing's just it's a different sport. Because even you look at Chris Cyborg boxing, sometimes she's trying to control herself not to throw kicks, and that discipline it be kind of killing them. It's mentally draining. It's mentally draining on them. I saw Holly Holm's knockout loss in boxing, which is super brutal. Oh yeah, that girl was tough, man. And Sophie Mathis, that girl is solid. Katie Taylor, that's something she ain't got to worry about. At most, Katie Taylor would kind of bust her up and maybe outpoint her. But Ann Sophie Mathis, yeah, she's a hard hitter. Yeah, that girl about knocked her through the ring. I mean, the referee, he could have stopped it earlier, but yeah, he about knocked her through the ring. She about got knocked through the ring. Yeah. Let me see. Zingano and Holly need to retire. Yeah, Zingano want that fight, man. I mean, hey, I'm gonna pray for it though. I'll pray for it because that's not an easy fight. All right, so who y'all picking in this Kayla Harrison Pacheco fight? I'm just going in to watch it. I'm not picking. I'm just gonna watch this fight. I don't even feel like picking it because it's kind of it's kind of unnecessary. It's a third fight, but it's a tournament, so you gotta fight. They gotta fight again, but just because they gotta fight again don't mean I gotta predict it. Because I'm not picking. I'm gonna just watch the fight. I'm picking in the other fight because somebody asked me to. So ask my pick. So I'm gonna go with Julia Budd against Aspen Ladd. Not by too far of a margin though. Not by too far of a margin. I think anything can happen in that fight. Dang, everybody got Kayla. Kayla 100%. Kayla, yeah. Well, you can't go wrong. She won 2 times. Mark said, I'm waving the white flag because I'm not picking. Yeah, I'm not picking either. I'm just watching fight. Mel said Harrison, but Larissa's got bigger and hits harder. I got Larissa. I think Larissa got a chance. Yeah, she got a chance. The other chick was, oh yeah. You know, yeah, like I said, I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but yeah, like Pacheco, she ain't on nothing, is she? Like, what do y'all think about that? Like, I got to question that sometime because there was a girl in boxing, a lady in boxing, who recently got banned, because she was going through. I mean, let's just talk about it a little bit here because there was a girl in boxing recently, maybe like no, it was maybe like 2 years ago or a year ago. She came in off of hormones because she was transitioning to be a male, and she had controversially beat for Sean, what's the name, for Sean Cruz, the boxer, and come to find out, she was on stuff, which was making her body like a man, and she winds up pretty much getting banned from the sport and having to give her belt back. I don't know if y'all remember that situation. So yeah, that happened just a couple years ago, and I mean, yeah, it's just like if you just see it, you kind of wonder about it, and you kind of think about if you were a fighter, you'd be like, well, is this person on something? Sometimes you have to ask that. MMAR said GDR. I mean, she put on some good fights now. I've been watching her knock people out, but dang, let's see if she do that this time. Let's see what she improved in. I hope her takedown defense is on point because this fight's gonna be going to the ground. MMAR said GDR whooped Larissa bad. Yeah, that was a while back, right? I can't remember like that whole fight. I remember Larissa Pacheco was in one of the tough houses, right? Like the featherweight edition. Yeah. Okay, so mostly everybody going with Kayla Harrison. Can't go wrong there, right? Since she's 2-0. Uh, Valentina versus Tyler Santos. It's been the talk of the YouTube world for WMMA for a while now. What do y'all think, man? I mean, my thoughts at this point, I think if nobody else is really in the position to take the fight, I think it is the one to make at some point now. And, at some point like in 2023, because we could say, yeah, Alexa Grasso, like I was saying the other night, I think Alexa Grasso should be that one. And no, at number 5, she should be that one. But do we really want to see somebody that's not ready? Do we really want to see somebody that's not ready at this point? Should it just be that person that fought Valentina to a very close split decision? And part of me wants to see it, but then a part of me says no because I'm not sure if Tyler Santos is if her eye is fully healed up like she says it is. I still think it might be a little tender, and that would be a big target in a rematch with Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina, like I said, this time if she goes in there with the mindset to not wrestle and she's not fighting off her ego and she's not trying to take Tyler Santos down herself and try to actually wrestle with her or try to match her strength for strength, if she sticks to her striking game, it could be a very bad night for Tyler Santos. You know what I mean? Like if it just turns into a striking match, she could target that eye. That's what I mean. Valentina said it herself. She did say, let her heal up, take another fight. But the question is, who? Who at this point? The longer we wait, Tyler just gets to heal up more and more, right? Because I suggested that they put her in there with Lauren Murphy, but Lauren Murphy is fighting Andrade now. You know, the best situation I could see is Tyler Santos and Grasso fight for that next title shot. While Manon kind of waits her turn because she just had surgery. So I think that would probably be the best situation. Like if Valentina still doesn't want to take the fight, according to her, right? I think they should make them two fight the eliminator to see who the best is out of these two. Claude said, how long is Manon supposed to expected to be out? They didn't say. They didn't say. It's probably going to be out for a little while. They didn't put a time stamp on it. She wanted to come back in March or April before the surgery, but now that she had the surgery and she's saying it's going to be a while before she comes back, I'm probably thinking maybe May or June now. You know, best time for Val to rematch Tyler is now though because of the questionable eye. Yeah, for her it is, but Valentina's actually not thinking that way. You know, that's what's crazy. Like fans want her to fight, and they would think that's the best time to do it while her eye is still tender, right? But even Valentina said herself, like, so I kind of take my hat off to her. She's like, I want 100% challenge. You know, she wants 100% challenge. She herself said, let her heal up. You know, she's like, fans want to see her just go in there and get beat. She said, I don't want to see that. She was like, I want to, fight her when she's 100%. So, what do y'all think? Do you think Valentina would rather wait a longer period of time till somebody's worthy, or just fight again? That's kind of like the question. That's kind of like the question for Valentina. Like, I wonder about her mindset. Like, she likes to be active, but does she just want to be active against bodies, or does she want to be active against a real challenge? Or if there is no challenge at the moment, would she rather wait 8 or 9 months? Would she rather wait 8 or 9 months till a real challenge comes along? Like, would she be willing for a tournament to play out? Would she be willing for like a tournament to play out until she has a worthy opponent? Or would she just rather keep running through mediocre competition? You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of leaning. Look, I would be kind of leaning towards waiting, because while she vacationing, everybody else, they could be like sharpening their swords, get ready for war. Like I like watching Valentina fight, but yeah, I want to see her tested. So if it means adding a few extra months till somebody feels like they are ready, or y'all run some fighters through like a semifinals, I'm cool with waiting a little while, because it seems like she wants to wait. You know what I mean? It seems like she definitely wants to wait. I don't think she just wants to fight. Somebody that just wants to lay down against. I mean, some fighters did, but she probably was thinking that they was ready. But at this point, if she didn't want to take Tyler Santos this soon, she wants her to get ready, right? Let's see. Val has integrity. Got to give her that. He said Val has integrity. Got to give her that, even if you don't like her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to give that respect. James G said, I'm hoping a rematch is on that Brazil card. Valentina would want to run through people. Valentina fought Priscilla Cachoeira. That was early in the career though. Like, there was really like no full on structure. Like, I thought that fight was strange myself, and I knew what was going to happen, but that was kind of like the beginning of the division. So I kind of give that as just like an introduction fight. You know what I mean? Like, the division didn't seem like it was fully like established when she fought Cachoeira. It was kind of like they were still fighting their way up. But now I don't want to see her fight anybody like that. Right after that, then she fight Joanna, and since then, it's been better competition. So that was kind of like a introduction fight to the division, in my opinion. Something they just kind of threw at her, and she showed what she was made of. James G said Blanchfield on the come up. Yeah, I think Blanchfield needs to fight Viviana Araujo next. I think Viviana Araujo would be a good fight for her. And I want to see Casey O'Neill fight Jennifer Maia. Since Andrea and Macy are going to fight, I think to see what Erin Blanchfield got and really test out her strength on the ground, she need to fight this black belt in Viviana Araujo. That's a good fight. Because, Viviana Araujo got that jab, too. It's going to land for a while, but if her gas tank ain't on point, I can see Erin going in there and mauling. So she would have to worry. That's something she got to worry about. Claude said Lauren is gunning for a rematch with Val, even with her limited talent and experience. I give her credit there. Yeah, anybody that Caitlin Chikagian wants to fight her again. You know, Caitlin was ready. If Caitlin had beaten Manon, she said, I was ready. She was like, I want to get that fight one more time before I retire. You know, James G said Suarez says first quarter 2023 return. Yeah, let's talk about that too. I forgot. I'll add that on here. We'll talk about it here in a minute. So yeah, I think for Valentina, we need to just kind of sit back and see how this thing plays out. See if Tyler Santos's words get her a title shot. Let's see if her words can get that title shot like February or March. Because beginning of 2023, with Val is back in training, she's probably expecting somebody to be ready at this point, whether it be Santos or Grasso. I think when she is back in training, she's expecting either one of them to be ready. But I think she would be willing to sit back if they made Santos and Grasso fight for that title shot at the moment. Because it's not going to be Manon right now. It's not going to be Manon. It's going to have to be somebody in between. And I like how Santos said, I'll fight any of them. She was like, I fight under me. I fight over me. She said, I got the number one over me. I fight her. She's like, hey, Chikagian, I fight her. So I think she's just ready to get back in action, man. Boy, I tell you what, if Grasso get thrown in there, that's going to be a wild fight. That's going to be some wild stuff. Mel said, I have a feeling Valentina might retire soon. Seems like she wants a money fight. She wants money fights. She wanted Tate, Grasso, even Rogers suggested Wei Lee yesterday. Yeah. I mean, when she brought up the Nunes fight, she said the money had to be right. So, yeah, she might be about getting to that point where it's time to get, the fights where you can cash out. Like, I don't think she wants to keep fighting the same opponents for, just mediocre money at this point. It is about cash out time, because if it was just about the competition, she would have taken Tyler Santos again. You know what I mean? She would have wanted to go back in and convincingly beat her. But even when they mentioned the Nunes fight, Ari Hawani mentioned that she was like, I would do that fight, but it's going to have to be for the right amount of money at this point. It's got to be for that money for me to put this type of muscle on and get my body back up at that point. They already booked in March, so I think I expect a summer return from Val at that. Wow, summer would be what? That means she'd been off almost like 10 months, like a year, right? Because she last fought in June, so she probably won't be back till June. Dang, that would be crazy. A whole year off. I don't know if a year would be that wise for her, especially if it was Tyler right back in there. Let's say if Tyler gets another fight, and then Tyler comes back in June. Let's say if she fights 2 times this year coming in 2023. Yeah, I was reading that article, man. I didn't even know she was talking about Val, but it looked like the context, it was about Valentina, because she did say we talked about that fight before or something like that. I considered that fight before. I didn't know if she was talking about Rose or Lemos. I put the China Daily article there. Y'all can read it and see if she was referring to Valentina. But yeah, if she was to fight Wei Lee, it would be strictly for money. I know Wei Lee would get paid, but I really don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see that fight. Not until like another 2 or 3 years. But yeah, Tatiana Suarez, it was posted first quarter of 2023, coming back in first quarter of 2023. What do y'all think about that, man? Who do y'all think Tatiana Suarez can fight? I'm a big Tatiana Suarez fan. I was a fan from her from day one, man. When even before that Tough House, and just a big fan of her wrestling. And I'm more of a love stand up fan. I'm a stand up fan fighter. Kickboxing and boxing, but I love her form of wrestling, and I've always rocked with her strawweight. I believe that she was going to take that belt, man. During her prime years of 2019. I thought she was going to get that belt in like 2020. But granted, if there wasn't a pandemic, and I believe she was going to get that belt. Tatiana Suarez would have been strawweight champion. She would have beat all of them. But her coming back to 125, man, I don't think she can jump right back into the top 15 like that. We were talking about that the other night. Throwing an Aaron Blanchfield in there, that is a tough fight for a returning Tatiana Suarez. You're talking about a young 23-year-old who is very technical, a black belt in BJJ. She really strong, puts on a lot of pressure. Underrated striking, I'd say. We talked about her striking the other night. I don't think her striking is bad. Aaron Blanchfield, her striking works. Taking on a fighter like Suarez, it should be effective, because Suarez isn't like the best striker in the world either. I think she has decent wrestling too. And the most important part is she's been active. She's been active. So jumping right into the top 15, I don't think that would be a wise idea for her. I think she would have to work with an unranked fighter first, blast out an unranked fighter. I remember last year she was going to take a fight with Roxanne. I think that would have been doable. Roxanne or Andrea Lee would have been doable, but even Andrea Lee was a dangerous opponent. I think she was trying to jump back in the mix, because she called out Andrea Lee. She was trying to get right back into the top 10. So to me, that would have been dangerous as far as, but I think Roxanne would have been a doable fight for her if she was going to come back. But at this point, I think you have some styles in there that could give her problems, especially being out for 4 years. I'm just being realistic. Like, I want to see her good. I want to see her make it in there, but she just had some rough injuries. The neck, the hand, the back. It's just a lot of things, man. Lolita said Barber, Gatto, Barber. I'd say Barber would probably be the limited one that she would have a good chance against. But even Barber would push her. Jillian Robertson, yeah, I could see that. Gatto, that's a good one. If she could do Gatto and win that fight one time, then yeah, I'd say maybe she's ready for top 15. Blanchfield is dangerous. I wouldn't do Blanchfield. Aaron's too dangerous. Aaron's the most dangerous out of those three, I think. Aaron's the most dangerous in my opinion, because Tracy Cortez was able to neutralize Gatto with her wrestling. So somebody like Suarez could beat Gatto, in my opinion. But she can't be reckless, because Gatto's jiu-jitsu is good too. So still a tough fight. But I think as far as style-wise out of those fights, I think Aaron's would be the most dangerous for her. Jillian, yeah, Jillian's a good name. Casey O'Neill, I think, Casey O'Neill wants to fight up now. First quarter of 2023. She want to fight like 2 or 3 times. Jennifer Maia calling out Grasso. So, she might not get Grasso. So Casey O'Neill, Suarez, I think that would be doable. I think Casey O'Neill versus Suarez would be doable. It's going to be a scrap. I'll tell you that. It'd be a scrap. Because Casey O'Neill is like an offensive type striker, just letting her hands go. And, she likes to fight on the ground too. So Suarez got to be ready to be. That's the thing, man. Like, I'm used to seeing Suarez ragdoll these strawweights. I don't know if she'll be able to do the same thing, man. I don't know if she'll be able to do the same thing. Yeah, Maverick is a tough fight, because Maverick is a physical fighter too. Like, I think that's a dangerous fight for Suarez. Miranda Maverick is a full-fledged flyweight. She be taking down these big girls too. Like I said, I haven't seen Suarez handle any of these type of girls before this size. She's been handling a lot of strawweights. I mean, she says she feels good at this weight because the weight cut isn't rough, but can she pick these same type of women up? Can she handle these same type of fighters? These aren't Carla Esparzas and Nina Ansaroff. These are going to be thicker women and taller and bigger. Yeah, Ebos got to get by Tracy Cortez first. Let's see. Cortez, sadly, in a boring decision. Yeah, Cortez beat Gatto, man. Dang. Efren, what's up? He said, feed Molly some bodies across the pond and march her in there, but Tatiana Suarez over the same way it went for Aaron. Dang, that would hurt her, man. I don't think Aaron's bad. I don't think Maverick's that bad on her back. I think that just happened to be if you basing this off of the Aaron fight, I mean, come on, that's Aaron. Aaron Blanchfield is Aaron. Like Aaron is very, very good on the ground. I mean, she'll shut you down. She'll put you on your back. Like that's how good she is. Like she will render you helpless on your back with her top control. I don't think she's bad on her back. I think she's done well in some of her earlier fights, but she's just a better fighter on the ground. She's just a better fighter on the ground. Now her top control is better. I think when she's in that half guard position, or when she's like really pressing you to the cage, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's where she's best at. But I wouldn't say she's horrible on her back. I think she's still good at escaping. I mean, I want to see. I really would like to see. At some point, I would love to see Suarez and Andrade at 125, though. That would be good. This division is going to be fire in 12 to 18 months. Yeah, I like this division, man. Some people don't like this division. I like the flyweight division. I don't care so much about what Valentina. If you put what she does aside, there are a lot of good fights here. There's a lot of good fights. You said Aaron shouldn't do that. Aaron can do that. Like when they were going to fight in Invicta, I was, I'm more of a fan. I was kind of fan picking. I was rocking with Miranda more, but deep down, I was like, man, Aaron. I was like, Aaron, this fight might not go well. Then when it came into the UFC, I rocked with Miranda. I'm picking her, but I was like, man, this fight right here is really, really going to be crazy. This girl's going to do something in here because the way she moves so if you understand how technical she is with her grappling, man, like you would know that she'd be able to do that to a lot of fighters. She'd be able to do that to a lot of fighters, man. I think she'd be able to do that to a lot of fighters. The way she does, it's very technical. Lafayette, what's going on, man? Andrade is gunning for Whaley rematch and taking English classes too. Dang, she ready to talk trash, I guess, if she can get that win over Lauren Murphy. That's gonna be a good fight though. Whaley and Andrade rematch. That'll be good. Yo, Lafayette in the building. Yasmin Jauregui versus Estela Nunes, real quick. I think I think it was Gabriella asked me about Yasmin Jauregui. I think Yasmin Jauregui has the potential to be a star, and I'm looking forward to this fight. This is on the card coming up in December 3rd. I really don't think Estela offers much to test Yasmin Jauregui. Maybe she will for like a round or so, but every time I seen her, she's sharp for one round. She got a good jab, she pops some nice shots, but can move around on her feet. But eventually, when you put pressure on her, and like I said, she can be hit. You can muscle her and take her. You can break her will. You can just pick her apart easy. So I think Yasmin Jauregui. I'm looking to see her win this fight, move forward. And I think once she gets this victory, they might give her another fight or two of unranked fighters. And you'll see her in the top 15 probably by, like I said, late 2023. She'll be in there pretty soon. I think she has a style and a look. And, of course, country behind her that could push her to be the next star in this division, kind of like the Alexa, even bigger than Alexa Grasso a little bit to me because how she fights. She kind of fights with more excitement too. She fights with that intensity. She likes to fight with the finishing, finishing on her mind. Like her first fight wasn't a finish, but it was a good fight. She was in there banging. And her fights before she got here, she was finishing some of them girls in Combate. So I think she's got some excitement to her that strawweight needs on her way up. Good takedown defense. Yeah, she'll be up in there fighting Angela Hill. No, she trains with Angela Hill, so I don't know if she fights with Angela Hill. She trained with Valentina too, so She's getting around. From Angela Hill to Valentina, she's been getting around with her training. So she probably would be up in there fighting like Tisha Torres and Michelle Waterson. Well, Marcus Bell just said Tisha Torres is pregnant. So I don't know what's going on with this division, right? Might be fighting Verna Jandiroba later on this year or something. If she looked good in this fight, Dana White might go ahead and push her faster. He might put her in there at the top 15 pretty soon. So yeah, Yasmin's on her way. James G said Yasmin versus Loma. I would go with Yasmin. I'll go with Yasmin. I think she got good stand up all around. She's just not kicks, big. She's bigger than Loma. She knows how to use the side. She's strong. Her clinch game is pretty good too, but I don't think she would fight her in the clinch. She would fight more, of a boxing and kickboxing style. I think faster hands. Loma's got some pop on her shot. She don't use her hands as much. She just throw them big kicks to the body. I'll go with Yasmin over Loma. Big part of it being the size and the skill. Lafayette said Lupe versus Yasmin. Oh man, I'm gonna go with Yasmin. She trained with Angela Hill, man. She got the inside track, man, and she got more power than Angela Hill. She might wind up in there busting Lupe up. And good takedown defense. Lupe ain't gonna take her down. She's strong, man. If she get her down, she pop right back up. I'm gonna go with Yasmin, man. Marcus, what you think? Yasmin beat both of them, right? Yasmin training. She up in there training with Angela Hill. Man, she got the inside track on how to beat her, man. She could show her everything. Look, I ain't overhyping this fighter. Man. That other girl, Yasmin, she ain't no random bump. Mel, get out of here with that casual talk. You lose me. You have me with some good conversation, then you lose me. Call it a random bum. What random bum? I know you ain't talking about Lucinda was a bum. You know how old that girl is and how many professional fights she got? The girl started fighting at like 15 years old. That girl 15. You talking about the girl she just fought? She fought a girl that's like been fighting since she was 15. She's a professional from 15 years old. And that girl wasn't fighting with like no bum. She was putting in work on her. That girl had technique. He said she looked horrible. That girl did not look horrible. And if anything, she looked green more so because she was fighting as a teenager. But that girl is tough. If that girl can put on that type of fighting as a teenager, come on. That girl is not no bum. She should have destroyed that young girl. How you gonna destroy somebody if they got heart and they a dog in there? No, that you don't destroy that type of fighter came to fight. You destroy a bum, yeah. But that girl just proved she wasn't no bum. Lucinda is not a striker. She's a puncher. She's a brawler. You saw her up in there brawling. And you mean she ain't a technical striker? I can give you that, but we can argue that. But this girl was throwing bombs in there. That girl was fighting. That girl's a fighter. Lucinda a bum. Gotta get out of here with that noise. That girl ain't no bum, man. Shoot. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, GP said Lucinda was far from a bum. Yeah, get out of here. Although, yeah, Marcus Bell. She's training with Angela Hill and Valentina. Yeah, so she getting right. Has she proven anything? She proved she could go 3 rounds with Yasmin. She proved that she got heart. She proved that she can fight. And how can you say has she proven anything and she UFC level? She just got here. People were asking if Lupe is UFC level when she got here. You got to prove your UFC level when you first get there. You prove that you're better than an LFA when you beat the LFA fighters and they sign you to the UFC. That's when you got to prove yourself that you are fully a UFC level fighter, right? Right? You can say everybody that gets signed in the beginning is, oh, okay, we're gonna just call everybody. No, you got to prove yourself. She may have lost the fight, but she proved that she can hold her own and she's a dog. Now, I'm not saying she could beat everybody in the top 15, but she proved that, hey, there's a level to her. I mean, what if? What if she loses? If she loses, that means, hey, she got work to do. She a young girl that needs work. Like, what if Ramona lose her next fight? We asked that. She probably gets cut, right? But I don't think she'll get cut. What if she loses? What are we gonna do? What do we say then? That's what I'm saying. Ramona is cut. That's what I'm saying. Like when Ramona was fighting her, when she was 0-2, you say, okay, well, what if she loses? Well, you get cut. You get cut, or you go back to the drawing board and you work. Yeah. I'm just saying, like when you first get into the UFC, you have to win your debut first, or prove yourself that you're on that level. Or if you give somebody a tough fight, you prove you're on that level, right? Because we say that all the time. There's fighters we say, okay, yeah, they're coming in like Teresa Blader. I felt Teresa Blader was ready. I didn't go ahead and say she was UFC level, but I said she deserves a chance. She deserves a chance from what she's done before. Deserves a chance to prove herself, right? I didn't go ahead and say she was UFC level. Mel said I can have my. Of course you can have your opinion, but if you want to come here and question my opinion and disagree with me, we're gonna debate. That's what we're here for, right? So be prepared for me to defend mine when I'm on the mic. Okay. So yeah, like if I agree, well, if you disagree with what I say, I'm gonna defend whatever I say with points. So yeah, you can have your opinion. It's like BJ got his opinion. We don't agree, but we're gonna talk about it, right? I didn't say you can't have your opinion. James G said everyone loses at 115 except Suarez. I can agree with that. I used to say that all the time. I can agree with that. Everyone loses at strawweight except Suarez. Yeah, thank you, Ephraim. Like, see, I'm just trying to keep everything going here. Sometimes I miss certain things. Yeah, you asked me what has she proven. So yeah, I told you. So you were actually looking for more from my opinion, right? That's a good catch, Ephraim. That's why Ephraim earned a wrench the other day. I gave him a wrench. Yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah, good talk. I'm just saying, look, I think Yasmin has in no way, yeah, you said she could lose. She could. Rose lost. She touched that belt. Carla lost. She touched that belt. Andrade lost. She's touched that belt. So yeah, like no way am I saying she's gonna go undefeated, but I think she can get into the top 15. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying she's gonna get in that top 15 and she can eventually get into a position to fight a top 5 and maybe eventually get a shot at the belt. Losing is a part of MMA. I noticed that. Like, when I fell into this sport, it's not like boxing. Losing is a part, but it doesn't mean your career is over, right? Right. Brian Williams said Whaley lost the very first fight. She lost the very first fight. Chris Cyborg, so, and you don't throw him out. You don't throw him in the trash yet. Piera Rodriguez, I don't know what she seems so impressed. I'm not Piera Rodriguez. I thought she lost her contender series fight. She fought Valeska Machado in the contender series. I thought she lost that fight. I thought she had a hard time with Kay Hansen. I thought she had a hard time with Kay Hansen too. I don't see anything that stands out. I mean, she's finding ways to win, so I can't knock it. But I think she's one I could see getting better at some point. But yeah, I see her losing somewhere down the line when the fighters get better. I do see her maybe losing one or two. Not saying she's a bad fighter at all because she's tough, but I seen her in LFA getting picked apart against a boxer. She eventually came back and won, but I thought she had a hard time with Kate Hansen and even Sam Hughes. I thought Sam Hughes gave her a good fight. Yeah, I don't really see anything that stands out besides her going in there to win, though. You know, I mean, can't knock that. But yeah, I thought she had a hard time with Sam Hughes. I did. I thought she had a hard time with that fight. All the rage, George Page. He said, "Happy Thanksgiving." Yeah, man, happy Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, James G said. All right. Hold up, man. Yeah, he sold it to me. Yeah. He sold me the. Yeah, he said I got that George Page internet. I got that GP 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 Wi-Fi. Can y'all hear me now? I got GP Wi-Fi, man. Mel said I'm more sold on Yasmin than Pieta between those two undefeated fighters. Yeah, I am too. I'm more sold on her. I think Cheyenne Velismus would give Pieta a hard fight. Yeah, George sold me this. George sold me this. Like a three-month contract of his Wi-Fi service. I thought it was Wi-Fi, but it's dial-up. I gotta plug the modem in. All right. But yeah, man, that's about all I got, man. I just wanted to talk about a few of those fights. I'm gonna pick I think I'm gonna rock with Julia Budd on this one. And let's see. I'm not picking the Kayla Harrison fight. And I'm gonna just watch that fight. I'm not picking. And of course I'm going with Stella Nunes. Not Stella Nunes, I'm going Yasmin against Stella Nunes. Yeah, it is basically dial-up. He sells it as Wi-Fi. But when you get it, it's like a rotary phone. For some of y'all that don't know a rotary phone, go look up what a rotary phone is. Yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Yasmin. I think that's gonna be a good fight, man. It's not gonna be action. It's not gonna be like back and forth action, but I think it might be a finish. He said I was in elementary when dial-up was around. No, I had a rotary phone back then. I was around when the rotary phone was. Yeah, I give Estela Nunes. I could see Estela Nunes winning the first round. I give her the first round of every fight. Lafayette said, who is Lupi fighting next? I don't know. She's been posting, but she didn't really post anything about fights. I guess she's been training, but no new fights. Yeah, Brianna Van Buren's got another baby on the way, so I don't think she'll be coming back anytime soon. He said downloaded Fast and the Furious on 56K. Lolita said, I was in elementary school and dial-up was around. I was a cardboard operator. And out when I was around, like, oh, they want to cut her? Dang. Yeah, well, they might have to give her like a little break, like Julia Abdullah. You know, Julia Abdullah is like on a maternity leave, so. Oh, audio's about gone. Brianna Van Buren. Yeah, they can't. Julia Abdulah's still there, so she's on a maternity leave, so you got to give her a chance. Yeah, but yeah, y'all. Good little talk. I'm about to go do some Thanksgiving stuff, so everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Good conversation. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, you got your opinions. Let's talk about it. Like always, when people want to bring smoke, we always try to do that, right? We have our little debates and discussions, so it's all good. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't, and hit the like button on your way out. And y'all be safe for your holidays. Sounds kind of discriminatory. Brianna having her second, hasn't fought since before the first. She had two babies. So yeah, Julia Abiel's only had one, and she was trying to fight. Yeah, that's true. When you have them back to back, I don't know how that works. Like I don't know what's in her contract. Yeah. But yeah, y'all, I'll catch y'all on the next one. And yeah, we'll get it in. Because after today, you got to get back into that work zone. And we'll talk next week probably. So, Combo Breaker 99, I am out. Subscribe. Peace.